Okay, we're here. Test Shields take two. We're not on the official server anymore since it fucking crashed. I'm here. We're here. We got Team 1 Beef, Corbeau, Hopeful Monster, and Hunter. They're all in Discord together. Obviously, that's a lot of Commodores. Team 2, we got Captain Chaos, Crow, Internet Explorer, and Rymark. And IE, Crow, and Captain Chaos play really well together. Also all pretty good at OSP. I don't know that much about Rymark's playstyle. But we're doing some test shields here. We have such a huge stack on Team 1. Because the many people who all said they wanted to play testing games with us didn't show up. So it's the Centurions, most of the Centurions anyways. Obviously don't have Cupcake or Mungo Parker. Versus a bunch of Seals, and then Corbeau is also there. Team 1 is playing Frigblob. Team 2 is playing 100mm primary weapons. And well, I'm hoping we're demonstrating that 100mm grape is, I need to start my music. 100mm grape is in a good spot and can challenge the Frigblob. That's the intent behind that change with the acceleration alterations. And grape's been increased in speed and range. It's meant to help counter frigates. We are dropping down the OSP team. Internet Explorers fleet. I'm surprised he's got 450s. He knows he's fighting nothing but frigates. This is one of his really strong builds. It's got Sarissas and Floodlights and Bastions and things, and I guess he just didn't want to swap out the 450s for T30s or whatever else. So it's got, okay, so he has adjusted his 250 Bulker to be 100 mil. Still got a Bloodhound, 2 Bloodhounds, and a Naked Scout. Also, we have arrived. Rymark, or Kettlebor in game, is bringing just a fuckload of 100 mil. And it's a little teeny tiny bit of PD. Okay. Crow's got Mass Driver, Bulker, a support Bulker, an EWR, and a Bloodhound on it. Very interesting. A whole lot of point defense. And then some gun shuttles. 100 mil. Chaos has monitors with plasma on the nose and guns on the sides. With an 8 Scout. Now, I know what Team 1 is bringing. Hunter and Corbeau are bringing Hunter's latest diabolical Frigblob creation, which is 1 triple jam sprinter, 4 gun frigs, I believe, half 120s, half 250s. Okay, no, 2 gun frigs. Wait a minute. Yeah, so 5 gun frigs, and then 2 floodlight and 250 frigs for spotting things. Corbeau has the same fleet. Hopeful Monster and Beef are bringing Yes Sock, which is a missile frigate team. There's just so much fucking firepower coming out of this crew. And a scout. Each of both the Yes Sock fleets have scouts. They built their scouts a little differently though. Look at how fast these are going. Raider. Yeah, there it is. Seems like frigblobs usually don't move this fast. But Raider's back, baby. Oh yeah, the Illuminator's gonna allow them to spot these at immense range. Yeah, Kettlebore's already lighting up. That's barely moving out of spawn. We got, oh my god, that's gonna be completely unhelpful. Okay. And that's gonna go for the Bravo cap. It's gonna get RPF to smitheroonies.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
Look at that. Interesting. The grape's being used as PD. It's about as effective. There have been a couple lands though. Can grape kill hybrid 3s in a large enough volume?
We are contesting zone box.
Oh, that was a Sarissa, so sort of. But also no. For what is a Sarissa if not big grape? Oh!
The enemy is securing zone.
It's a hybrid killed by grape shot! I might have sold out the OSP team too soon. Things just got a lot more interesting. If grape rounds can handle missiles, hybrid 3s in cruise stage,
We are contesting zone.
that changes everything. It's a little bit of a scout fight over here. Well, more of a hopeful monster exists while this thing... You don't grape the poor sprinter. Just shoot it with HE. Why would you grape the poor sprinter? Though we are seeing that grape is actually a meaningful tool at killing small ships. There is no doubt about that. Grapes can kill sprinters. He's been using just grape on this thing. He's critted the fuck out of the drive, and it's probably going to explode. Huh. Was not expecting that. I figured it would struggle. I mean, I know the crit chance is higher. I just figured it would struggle to stack up that many crits in one spot. I suppose that's partially because of the small size of the sprinter. I mean, it's like 30% engine, right? And there's a couple of those socks coming in. I'm pretty sure this is just dead. Yeah, there's another naked scout down. Alright, Rymark has also lost one tug, presumably to the same thing. Yeah, with those being placed. How many missiles y'all got? Okay. Okay, they've got a lot left, actually. I mean, they've used quite a few. Look at the grape come in and land on these. We can see them land. Look at these missiles getting taken out. So I figured grape would still be awful against missiles because the core problem with grape wasn't the speed. Well, I believed it wasn't the speed. It was the accuracy. The T-30s and the T-20s are not accurate weapons. But I guess with a GPC or two, they're accurate enough. In fact, these probably don't have any of those in them. Yeah, not a single gun plotting center. So, we might actually be having the other conversation. I was expecting we were going to be talking about how frigs are fucking busted right now. Anyways, in spite of the grape changes, we might be having another conversation where grape may be a little too strong. It's going to depend... Well, God, H3s.
The enemy secured zone.
Because the ANS really needs hybrids right now, at the current state of the game. Especially on fatter ships. That grape was able... I mean, this is an absurd amount of grape. Like, this is a huge investment, right? And so, I guess the sacrifice here is that, like, none of these ships can take on anything of any meaningful size at all. It's only frigates. It's all frigates. It's missile and gun frigates. But it's only for... Well, I say missile and gun frigates, but then... Just look at how much damage they put out. These two ships are just dead. They're just gone immediately. OSP's trying to play the cap game, and they really just need to be fighting. I don't know, but you kind of can't fight the Frigblob. Maybe it is better to just to play the cap game and pray. Ooh, nice. Burst Rondo from the root. Oh no, it's the Pinky Herd that burst. Yes, a round of sacks coming in again, but the Sarissa not having much luck. The Grape might have better luck, or perhaps Hopeful was a little more careful with his missiles. Yeah, that looks to be the case. So these are going to make it to target. Blonk, blonk. Yeah, after they stage, there's no way. Also, we're in combat right now? What am I doing? Hard trolling, that's what.
The enemy is secured.
Yeah, it's not even close once these are sprinter staged. But it's good to know that there's yet another tool against lazy cruise staging. There's so much fire going on the field. But it's just, I don't know, it's just not doing that much. It's landing. It is landing. But look at that. It's landing right at that angle. Yeah, there's so many deflections happening. So the result, what's happening here is even though this thing's basically dead on, the slight angling plus the dodging in one direction is resulting in grape shot hitting at this corner thing right here and up in here, and it's just pinging off and hitting into the abyss. There's enough raw fire rate that it seems to be fairly effective. But there's still so much wasted munition going on here. OSP also doesn't have a lock, which is pain. I don't think anybody on that team brought pinpoints. That's something we're gonna need to talk about.
The enemy secured zone common.
Ah, man. You know, if I was a smarter lad, I would have prepared this a little better. Could have built up some anti-frigate fleets, but it didn't even like occur to me to focus on frigate testing until the day before. And I asked Hunter if he'd be our Frigblob mastermind, and then Internet Explorer if he'd be our anti-Frigblob mastermind, because that dude knows his way around OSP ballistics like nobody else. But everybody made fleets
The enemy secured zone Atlas.
for the OSP team. Look at those missiles. Unfortunately, that is a colossal waste of munitions. Oh, they're switching. A-Rad coming in handy there. A few going off to the abyss, though. Ooh, real bad angling on that Ocello. Bonk. You need to be fighting with radar off and then have just like a radar tug flying around and toggle spamming. It's full using. Oh, okay. I thought this was in front of this and it was using it as cover. That would have been an absolute champion play. Absolute champion. Oh, I just about kicked over my water. I need to move that. Right there. Just look at the relative damage that has happened. Frigates. Yeah, some of these have been pretty beat up. It's just this rate of damage on grape is super low. Look at that accuracy, even with a lock. I have no fucking idea how they were popping hybrids. But it just takes so long. Whereas when the Frigblob chooses a target, it's just dead. There've also been some plasma blasts coming out to help make the grapening a little easier. Still firing at this one ship that's basically dead. OSP does have a severe capping advantage, 4-0, which is really strong. But I am not convinced that it is enough, especially not with this coming in. my. And it's pretty colossal waste of munitions.
The enemy secured Zone X.
Well, we started playing on ERI number 6, but it went down basically as soon as we started. That's apparently because Mazur was rolling out an update for it. Oh, whoops.
The enemy is securing Zone Boxer.
So all the Testulus might be for naught here. It's pretty ironic. I said the other day that, you know what, I bet Mazur's gonna release this like
Zone Boxer.
the day, the morning of, or the night of, when we do this fucking event, and I knew it. I knew it was happening. I called it so hard. So I guess we can just go to normal ranch after this. Anyways. Amazing. Yeah, OSP's getting kind of stomped right now. And these frigates, after doing the dramatic volume of military damage that they've done, can just spread out and start capping everything. Some more socks coming in here. Just taking these boats down. Jeez.
The enemy is securing Zone Boxer. The enemy is securing Zone Boxer.
Still amazed that Grape Shot's been taking out these socks. Wow. Missiles have been winning more than the ballistics have. No doubt there, but that's part of Frigblobbin. They're great at everything. Yeah, I just opened up the fucking changelog on the main Discord, and this thing that we're testing just dropped. Why does Mazur purposefully troll me? All of us, really? It's planned. It's all a plot. Come on,
The
man.
enemy secured Zone Boxer. The enemy is securing Zone Boxer.
Just look at this full health Frigblob just flying around with impunity. Even the mass drivers aren't doing all that much to them. See, I thought the mass driver... I was a little concerned, actually, about the mass drivers coming along. Because I figured they'd be too strong and render this team completely useless, but...
The enemy secured zone common.
I mean, obviously, Team 1 has the Commodore stack. This isn't even like a, wow, they played super well and won sort of deal. They just sort of grouped up and walked forward and completely annihilated the OSP, who had pretty decent builds. Overall, they definitely weren't prepared for the missiles. But... Well, at the very least, we've got the first games on the official build, even though we're currently on the testing build. Look at these get wrecked. Now this checks out. I mean, like, so few people showed up compared to who wanted to, quote unquote, show up. So I think it also checks out that Mazur decides now is the time, immediately right now, to just release this, rendering the testing side of this completely useless. I mean, I guess it's still good information, especially if this is the state of the game. Because it's not even close. Right? I think that's the problem here. It's not like, okay, Frigblob won, but, you know, it was a fight. It wasn't a fight. It was an absolute stomp. And I don't even think they played that well, to be real. Especially the missile players. They're just kind of mailing missiles in the front door. And the scouting missiles got down by the grape. And then they just started sending them indirect. OSP didn't have enough grazers. If they take more grazers, they're going to start sacrificing 100 mil. And I don't think they have the damage to kill frigates without as much 100 mil as possible.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
I mean, at this point, we're barely watching the game. I'm just sort of thinking out loud, and also the game's on in the background because I don't think there's much point to watching it at this point. Tizzle, bizzle, hizzle. What is this? Oh, you got the most armored hull in the game against one of the lightest hulls in the game? Doesn't matter. 250 fire. A lot of it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Monitors? Never heard of it. Just completely destroyed.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
It,
The enemy is securing zone.
it's okay, I guess.
We are
We
contesting
got a few
zone
fleets, a few ships, I should
The
say.
enemy is securing zone.
Spread out. Kind of doing their own thing. Mm. It's just like it's not even close. It's not even remotely close. None of the missile ships got dunked
The enemy secured zone common.
because the OSP couldn't afford to not be on have everything on the front line. Very few of the frigates and the frigblobs, the gun frigs, if you will, took damage. Those that did took a long time to take damage because of all those grape deflections. Even just the teensiest little bit of angling fucks grape. At least against frigates. Maybe we'll figure out an optimum build at some point, but I want to go talk to Team 2, actually. We're gonna need this. Please. Just tell me about your experience.
I'm really
Missiles
struggling.
are annoying. The grape hasn't been buffed enough against missiles.
Chaos hates missiles and will not stop talking about it.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
Also-
really
tilting. I'm
struggling
tilting
with the-
because of missiles.
Crow,
Missiles.
Crow, go.
I'm really struggling with the micro on mass driver bulkers and with getting this bloodhound on target.
Okay.
I have felt like at standoff ranges I did perfectly well against gun frigs. But then, you know, I didn't bring HE, so I can't kill them quickly. And missiles took out over half of my ships. Because
Okay.
hybrids are very good.
Yeah. Internet
So
Explorer.
basically,
go.
I like gun frigs could have sustained combat potential that I felt I could beat, right? But they're maybe going to win on us playing caps and then us having ships sniped out.
What
I'm,
is that? Oh, that's a life pod. Do you need help up on E?
I need to find... If you can finish frigates off, yes. But, like, they just have a bunch sitting here, and I don't know for sure which ones are armed. And then I guess that it's maybe this one that's hiding, while all the others are for distraction.
Yeah, on attack B, I think that's the one.
But now they have another gun one coming, and there's like 5 here. Honestly, you guys should be capping anywhere else. They just keep having ships come.
Jump up. That's dead.
So, how's everybody
Oh.
feeling?
I'm getting gun shuttled.
Wishing we had more missiles.
Well, sorry, I've wasted all of my missiles.
You showed those tugs who were boss, though, man.
Yeah, firing fucking 8 stacks into a single tug. Extremely efficient.
Extremely efficient, dude. Like, you put the fear of sack in their eyes.
The enemy is securing zone Eclipse.
Oh.
Are you firing HE into that theater, or is that AP?
It's HE, 120 AP and 250 HE.
I think you're... I don't know if it's penning.
The enemy is securing zone Dagger.
250 HE should pen.
We're getting Delta
It
now.
doesn't look like it.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Maybe it is. Oh,
there was one.
oh, nice. That gives us D. Okay, we won.
They're falling.
Morale
Hey,
victory.
Corbo.
War exhaustion 100%.
Corbo, head back to B to defend.
Except
for
white
shuttles.
peace.
Your troops are running away. Shameful display.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna keep hammering this guy, Acello's drives now.
And I don't think anything else on the map needs AP, so I'm not going to
No.
stop shooting it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Only the, really only the heavy boys, the feeders.
The enemy secured zone Dagger.
Hopefully, have you looked at this Acello recently?
No, hold on. I'm trying to... Oh, there's another fucking... 4687. There's another shuttle in C that I can't kill. Could you send Aggressor 2 to C?
I can try.
Because it's just a couple of gun shuttles there.
It's like very weak right now. It can barely move.
Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't sweat it either. Like,
I'm just gonna try and shoot this bulk freighter.
yeah, that's fine.
Lisa, don't shoot me. Run, Bash, run.
Explorer. Okay, yeah. I don't know. This was
Sketchy?
a little sketchy. I think triple gun frigs is better. I think you only need one
Probably,
yes
but-
back.
Probably.
But I wanted to sack.
I
Beef
know.
on it.
You both wanted to sack, so there was no choice if we wanted
There's
more
no stopping
players.
us.
But did we lose?
No, we didn't.
So what's the problem?
There's no problem.
Even it just shows 2 frig swarms is more than enough to.
Yeah, even with 2 people fucking around playing Missile Command. All right,
I'm
let's.
very
Wow,
glad I
this is a
brought
very.
250s.
I think IE3 surrendered, right? So that's done
Yeah,
too.
there's just one person left. I don't know who
So
it is.
Yacella's dead.
It's the rails. Whatever.
Rails and the shuttles.
Yeah.
Is the Ocello dead?
I think that was internets, wasn't it?
Was it?
What's the tag on it?
Oh, it was. Shuttle going for. I'm guessing those are shuttles at least. I don't know.
I think they are the shuttles.
There's another shuttle right here that is stopping me from capping C.
I mean, if we had rocket shuttles, for example,
Never
that
mind.
would have
We've given into our diplomatic pressure.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Rains are pretty good. Well, no one's coming up to the fucking violence waiting room to join me because they're all fuckos.
I
Two
did bring...
frigblobs and yes, Zach are apparently. I don't know. It's enough. I don't think the grape shot did enough. It just didn't really seem as effective as it needed to be, especially with 2 frigblobs getting shot by I was getting shot by 3 fleets at once at one point, and I just barely felt it.
So, with how you were moving your frigates, it's strafing just a little bit. It caused the grape shot to land on the sides of the holes at a really oblique angle and just deflect.
Yeah, that's what I was doing that on purpose. I was angling my frigates so that because I knew the grape shot only had 16 centimeters of pen, so it's only going to pen on a flat angle.
Yeah, no, we complained to Mazer about that, but he hates the idea that it has every single centimeter more.
I mean, I get that because I feel like if you make it higher, it's just going to stomp from range. But at the same time, this feels like it's not quite enough.
Yeah, and like for its worth, I feel like it is enough asterisk. It's enough at like the
It's
6
better.
to 8. It's like good at the 6 to 8K range, but below that you just want to be switching to something else, right?
Yeah,
it's
AG.
like better than having nothing.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, like I took the most damage out of our entire team, and I still had 6 functional frigates by the end of the game. I mean, one of them is fucked. Oh, never mind, it died. So I have 5 functional frigates.
Yeah, Beef alone dealt like 25k damage with just S3Hs.
Yeah.
I think Beef personally destroyed 2 of our fleets on their own.
Yeah, we didn't bring enough missile defense is what happened.
Well,
We just lost in the fleet editor.
Hopeful did more damage. It's just the S3H frigates, man. Frigates are just really good.
But let's not
they do
frigates,
it
that's
all.
S3Hs.
Yeah, but
No,
they do
well,
it all.
It
They can
is
bring
frigates,
those.
though.
Yeah.
Because you can bring 80 S3Hs with a frigate group like that. You can't do that with any other fleet in the game.
Yeah,
like for ANS. That's just not
And
possible.
you can go out and cap. It's great.
Yeah. It's the frigate hull is just like, I guess this is the point of all of this, really, is pointing out that the frigate hull is just crazy. And I guess like we're trying to make it less effective by giving Grape to OSP so that gun frigates are less effective. And I think that's kind of working, but it's still kind of a little dicey.
So you can technically kite frigates with Grape, but what are you kiting them in? Monitors, line ships? No, frigates can close the distance.
I mean, you can kite them in tugs, but like if they have 250, the RPF will eat you like real fast.
Yeah. Also jamming.
For what it's worth, though, like my ships were able to go more toe-to-toe against gun frigates than I'd expect, but like, you know, it doesn't fix me losing over half of them to hybrids.
I was more annoyed by the range discrepancy than anything else. Like being shot at from Grape at 8.2 kilometers while I couldn't really shoot back with my 120s, it was a big bother for me. That was pretty much the only thing I would say. Like while I was getting that moment when I was getting shot by 3 fleets, I was like, okay, there's a chance that I could die here, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So and you know what outranges 120 a lot better? Mass drivers.
Yeah. But you can't only bring mass driver. Like I think mass driver monitors might be good actually.
I also agree with the mass driver monitors would have been better in this scenario, because getting the bulk freighter on I still did 20,000 damage with it, but like getting it on target was such a pain in the ass. And same thing with the Bloodhound bulk. Like when it was on target, holy shit, like 14 track quality, but
so here's the thing about this.
Finally got me, or at least got my EW ship, was the mass drivers, presumably with the targeting radar from beyond jamming range. Finally picked it out.
Yeah. The thing about this is I think mass driver monitors with Grape Shot, like, and you can. We don't want it to be a specific counter, right? Like that's the thing. It needs to be able to be good against other shit as well as the gun frigblobs. So if mass driver monitors are good against gun frigblobs with Grape Shot and other weapons, then I think that's fine.
And they are.
Even if frigblobs are like insane.
I feel like if we just pressed our advantage with a bit more meat, our level of cap advantage, because you were playing it very cautious at first in order to not just get deleted. If we had a bit more meat on points, I think that would have been enough. But that's a different sort of win than I know most people want.
We also brought 2 pure missile fleets.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. That makes a really big difference.
I would super argue missiles are their own ship class.
Kinda.
But the frigate's the best missile carrier, so
well, think about it. You're just laying in the back missiling shit in whatever hole you choose. It's like it's the same ship no matter what hole you put it on.
That's not true.
That's not true. That's not true.
What's the difference?
Again, dude, look, the frigates, like, okay, look at it this way. The frigates, first of all, they carry more missiles, and second of all, their missile salvos, like, each one of those frigates can fire 4 missiles each. That's a 20 missile salvo if they want, or 16 missile salvo if they want. Okay. There's not a single other ship in the game for ANS that can do that.
And you can spread it out.
And then they can split up and hold points.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's not enough.
There is no denying that it's good, right? It does fight a lot different than the gun frigate. That is,
of course, yeah. But the point is that it's the frigate hull itself. Like, why, if you're playing, like, there needs to be a reason to play other things. And so if missile frigates aren't going to change, which I doubt they ever are. We need to make it less optimal to play gun frigates.
I don't think that's a fair comparison because I think those are very different ship types, right?
Well, but then why would you play any other comp if you're trying to win other than just frigates?
Yeah, the
So-
point is literally what are the other holes in the ANS arsenal doing if the
Yeah.
frigates can do absolutely
Everything.
everything better than they can?
Frigate ANS is the 2016 Cavs, and frigates are LeBron James.
Yeah, exactly. It just does
Carrying
everything.
I don't
carrying
understand the
ANS to a 50% win rate on their entire self.
I simply think what we are seeing here, especially in this game, right? Like, look at our fleet compared to yours. We're a bunch of lunatics bringing the same gun everywhere. Will you bring a diversified fleet that crushes us with missiles?
But that's
Yeah,
the point. That's the
I got
Yeah,
point.
but
confused.
we're
Like,
bringing what's supposed to be countering.
But it's not. It's not the counter to missiles, right?
No, it's not.
We
But
just
it doesn't
brought
counter
a very
gun frigs
specific
either.
fleet.
But here's the thing: if you brought what you thought would be the counter to missiles, quote unquote, you just die to the gun frigs.
But we
Yeah.
So,
like, I think you should just surprise a team with gun frigates, then point to that in the rather than like
but
try
we
to pigeonhole this test.
but we have
May I
done
say
that.
something? May I interject?
Yes.
I was under the impression, and this is why I was kind of tilted this whole time. I was under the impression that we were testing against gun frigates, and I'm not saying that I was that like I was given the wrong impression or anything. Like I was mistaken. I'll totally like take that, but I was
Literally
under the
told you
impression that
missiles
we were
wouldn't play.
testing against. What?
So I think there's a bit of a misconception about when someone says a frigblob, because the original frigblob was just gun frigates. After the change to the acceleration, it evolved into something a bit different. Like this hasn't just stayed static as only 120 gun frigates. Like people have this perception about, like I've noticed this when I talk about that in balanced discussions. People seem to think that when people say frigblobs, and if the team of frigates, it just means gun frigates. That's not the case anymore. Frigates simply are the best hull for ANS to bring. And this is the point that's trying to being made here. We can bring missiles using them with ships that have 80 fucking S3Hs. We can also bring 250s to break DT. And we can bring a huge amount of DPM in the form of 120 frigates, which we did do. We had one group of 120 frigates, one group of 120 250 frigates, and then two groups of stack frigates, S3H frigates.
I would argue that if we had brought probably one more gun frig group and one less stack group, it probably would have even been stronger.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
I think that's completely ridiculous. Like, let me put it this way. I'm not sure I lost one tug, right, to gun frigates. I lost like 9 to hybrid missiles. And because I just couldn't hit them. I watched those hybrid missiles also take out a ton of additional stuff. The missiles killed like 3 of us, and the guns killed like 1 of us.
Well, actually, the missiles damaged a lot of stuff, but I killed the monitors.
Sure.
If it wasn't for the 250s, we
No.
wouldn't have been able to kill the monitors.
That's
So
true.
The
No,
gun
I-
frigs also screen for the missile frigs and allow them to do what they do. You can't get through the frig blob.
Look,
Is part of the problem
I'm
as
saying
well.
that you can't ignore the fact that we simply didn't have PD to fight the hybrid missiles.
Right.
We got
I mean,
crushed by
we're
them.
not, but
lost
that's
in the fleet
exactly the point that they're making.
But no, that's not a fair
No matter.
thing.
Okay,
It's
okay,
a
hold on,
fair
hold on.
point because
Next game? Next game, same build for ANS team, OSP. Do whatever you want to fight it.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, I get to play sack again? Fuck yeah.
I
Do an
wanted
outro.
to,
Okay. Obviously, tensions are a little high right now. I think the core point that Hunter is trying to make is correct. That at the end of the day, literally, if you're trying to win, why play anything other than frigates? You don't even need that much coordination. You just need to go out onto the map and kill shit. It's the only hull you need. They have their cap potential is good enough, especially the missile frigs. Their PD is pretty effective. We obviously didn't see any missiles that game, but I've tried missiling those before, and I'm pretty good at missiles. I think so. And then the RPF, the sheer volume of RPF just fucking deletes that shit. And they do the damage, and the grape shot, specifically the grape shot, is I think a big part of the problem, because it's just it couldn't damage the frigates. It just couldn't. There were deflections out the wazoo. And when they did punch through, they did very, very little damage. And there's also accuracy problems. But I think that's partially a failure on the... Well, no. Because you can only lock things out as OSP out to 6.5 kilometers. Unless you have locking a cello. Which is a whole nother ball game, I guess. Obviously, this doesn't cover literally every single angle related to frigblobs. No question that there's a whole lot more up in the air. But the core issue is that they're generally extremely strong. They're an everyman hull. And I actually don't know how you fix that without making a bullet designed specifically to kill frigates or banning frigates from carrying guns. And both of those are really awful ideas. So we go back to I actually don't know how you fix this. I hope this is useful to you, balanced discussion guy, to you, random ass player who's playing the game. I hope it was fun, at least a little bit. And I really hope Mazur watches this and learns. I don't know. Learns something. Because obviously that fool knows way more about the game than any of us. But there's clearly something not quite right here. We're gonna follow this up with another one, same teams. ANS is gonna have the same build, and OSP has been told kill the frigates with literally anything. And they're all in group chat right now. I think Hunter's actually probably helping them workshop builds to be anti-frigate. I think right now the only thing that's keeping this the way that it is the simple fact that people generally don't like playing frigates. ANS players like their big hulls. So most ANS players are rolling around the battle space in their Axfords, and some in their Solomons, and a few in their Vauxhalls. But I don't think that's a very good balancing strategy. We've been just talking about stuff for like 10-15 minutes now. I'm gonna let you go, dear viewer. Stay till the end. Thanks again. I hope you learned something. Good night.